Hi everyone, it's John Mitchell. We're going to continue on with our management style videos, and now we're looking at the consultative management style, which is where the manager consults with employees before making their final decision. So there's a little bit of a shift from the previous two management styles where we looked at the autocratic and persuasive. Now one of the characteristics of the consultative management style is that there's two-way communication. The others had one-way communication, so the autocratic and persuasive had one-way communication. The major difference here is that there is two-way communication. There's information communication flowing from top down and also from bottom up. So the manager still makes the decisions though, so it is still centralized decision making. That's really important. However, discussions are encouraged before the manager makes the final decision. So the real some strengths of the consultative management style is that there's a greater variety of ideas which can improve the quality of the final decision, because the manager is now going out and consulting with all these different employees who may have some really great ideas, or at least some really relevant information that can be provided to the manager before they make their final decision. Employees often take more interest and there's higher morale because they're now involved in the decision making process. They're being consulted, their ideas are valued, and it can also improve the confidence in the employees, especially if their idea that they've put forward has been implemented into the final decision. One of the weaknesses though is that it's more time consuming because the manager has to go around and consult with all these different employees. It takes more time to come to a final decision. Some of the ideas will more than likely be overlooked. So if the manager goes to a group of employees or a number of employees and asks for their ideas and opinions, they put them forward, it's likely that some of those will be overlooked and not implemented into the final decision, which could cause some conflict or resentment from the employee. And also, it could be that the employees may not have the experience or knowledge to contribute to really, I suppose, final strong decisions, so that they don't have the knowledge, skills or experience to really put forward some relevant ideas. Now, when is consultative the best one to use? Well, I think during times of change, or when the employees have experience and knowledge that the manager can sort of lean on, so that therefore they can put forward those really good ideas and the manager can use those towards the final decision. And if there's more complex tasks that need to be conducted, or where bargaining or negotiating needs to happen. So the participative management style is taking it even further. This is where the manager joins in with staff to make decisions. So again, there's two-way communication, but now employees are able to make decisions. So it's decentralized decision making. The employees and the manager will join together to make decisions, and information is shared freely among the employees to help them make that decision. One of the benefits is there's a high level of trust between the manager and the employee. The manager trusts the employees to make some decisions, or at least really work with them to make strong decisions. Larger pool of ideas again, because the employees are being consulted and involved in the decision making process. Improves the relationship between the manager and the employee, because they're working together to make decisions. That improves morale and motivation. The employees really feel like they are part of the organisation and having a real impact on the direction of the organisation. They're more receptive to change because they're often more involved in the decisions that are likely to happen, and employees also develop more skills and experience because they're involved in their decision making. However, again, the weaknesses is that it's time consuming, to actually discuss the right decision to be made, and going through the pros and cons of everyone's different ideas can be time consuming. Conflicts can arise due to disagreements on what the best decision is. They're joining in with the employees, are joining in with the manager, and there could be differing views on what the best decision is, which could cause some disagreements. More time on forming decisions, less time completing work, so that often through discussions that can take lots of time, and there's actually less time work getting done. There's more time sort of sitting in meetings and working together to make decisions. And also, possibly the manager role could be undermined if the employees, are really heavily involved in decision making, and which could lead to a possible misuse of resources. So when is it best? Again, during times of change, and when the employees have lots of experience and skills and knowledge about the particular issue. Also, when problem solving is required, because the employees and the manager can work together to sort of solve the problems, and also in highly creative environments. The last one we need to go through is the laissez-faire management style. And this is where the manager gives the employees full responsibility for the operations and decision making. Two-way communication at the start, in terms of the manager can come in and set some limitations, or like it could be a budget limitation or a time frame and a deadline that they need to set. But essentially, the employees are completely empowered to make their own decisions in terms of meeting an objective, which means it's decentralized decision making, and the manager is only involved if asked about at the beginning or during if there's any issues, and also at the beginning to set certain parameters, as I said, like a budget or a deadline. So some strengths: employees feel complete ownership of, almost the business that they're doing, but definitely the decisions. It improves motivation and encourages creativity. Communication is completely open with the employees. They work together often in a team to sort of come to an agreement. Weaknesses: complete loss of control by the manager, so they're not sitting there overseeing the work that's being done, and so therefore they have to rely heavily on the skills and experience and abilities of the employees, which could obviously lead to a misuse of resources from the employees. Can cause conflict among workers, as again, they may be working together and discussing, and not having a leader overlooking and helping them make decisions, and the overall objectives of the organisation or the business could be lost. So that, where the employees really just focus on their own small task and forget what the overall objective of the business is. So when is it best is really when there's highly skilled and highly knowledgeable employees, or when there's a high amount of creativity required. So for example, a website designer might work with a client and have the full control over what they do with the client, and so there may not be a manager overseeing that necessarily. Find out more about our SAC and exam preparation lectures, then come on over to teachingbubble.com.